The first thing I'll tell someone who wants to go into business, number one is
Find you, come and check out what you're doing. Where can we find you? Maybe you have a shop,
Okay, our
an
office is
office.
located at Amko. I don't know if they can actually find it very well, but if you tell any bike that you're coming to Amko,
Amoko,
just
Obuolo.
after the market.
You must have faced one or two challenges as a Christian in business. You know, maybe one or two issues here, persecutions. Would you care to share those?
Um, yes, Bible says that for us to live godly in this life, we'll suffer many persecutions,
Yeah.
and we have gone through a lot. Many of them. Okay, for example, um, I remember last week did a business with somebody. So I asked him to bring a goods for me because we do supply.
Supply there.
Some of my customers, they buy from the north. They buy from us. We send to them. So he gave me these goods at a certain price. Sometimes some people will not see what I'm saying as persecution.
Okay.
You understand? So he, he he has already paid, but I know the way our people behave. Sometimes if you give them money, they will just forget the goods. So because I was preparing I wanted to supply that goods very, very, very fast. So then after 2 or 3 days, the guy told me that the person he bought the goods from did not give him the goods. And by that time, the goods has increased,
The price has increased.
added almost extra 18 naira. And I sold it for 2,200. It's already 2,250, and I've already collected money from the person. So I prayed and asked God to help me in this matter. I didn't know the guy went behind the back, collected the goods because he saw that the price of the goods has
It
increased.
increased.
He sold the goods and told me that.
You didn't receive it.
So when I now discovered I have to go to the person, by God's help, I had to pray. I was even, because there was a particular product God asked me not to sell. Some of this copy product, I don't buy copy, I don't sell copy. I have to go to the person, pleaded with the person, told the person, went to the person, he bought the good direct. Told him I sold this good for 2,200. Person said I must buy for 2,250. And I'm already losing 7,500. I don't know what to tell my customer. I have to pay with a loss of 7,500. You understand? And many stories like that. Many stories. People come, they make more of you. They say you are mad. They call you all kinds of, all kinds of names.
Of names.
And sometimes because of the things we have seen from the Bible, we also rejoice. I've been called mad person. I've been called all kinds of people take advantage of you, who eat your money. There are ways you can persecute a Christian. You can persecute a Christian by taking his goods and eating his money.
And he wouldn't come after you that way.
Probably maybe if you go with the authorities, if you take that. We have lost a lot of things because of what we believe.
And you take a loss for the kingdom.
And we take loss for the kingdom to the glory of God.
All right. Now, in your perspective, do you think that Christians as a body are not well represented in the business places, like in the marketplace?
Is it Christian or Christianity?
That's true Christianity.
I think
not Christianity by
yes. I think the best word to use is Christianity, because what we are actually presenting is Christianity.
Christianity, yes.
The truth is that God is highly disappointed with the people that called. I'm just judging from my side.
From your own experience.
From my own experience. Because I've been a Christian for a long time. And I've had a lot of people, both great and small, who profess to be Christians, but in the marketplace, they are one with the world. You get?
Yeah.
Christianity is suffering a lot in the business area.
Okay.
And largely because of lack of proper discipleship. Lack of proper discipleship. A lot of businessmen are not properly discipled in our faith. So they willed it to maybe pastors. Pastors, they say this one belongs to this. For them, they will be giving tithes.
The declared ministers.
They will be giving tithes. Being a Christian is a ministry. And being a Christian is not adverse to knowing God, because you need to hear God. Just like my sister said, almost everything she said is how God did it for me. You need to hear God. Those that came from the knowledge of God. It was an inspiration from God. And we have had many challenges that God came for us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Christianity is highly misrepresented in the business world today because of lack of proper Christian discipleship. There is a gap between the clergy and the light. There is a huge gap between the clergy and the light. And most of the clergy are into business. Sorry, most of the light are into
In
business.
late and into business.
So, and people are not properly trained how to follow God, how to hear the voice of God, how to represent Christ.
Okay.
So that makes it very worrisome.
All right. That's a very gloomy picture you painted. Now, in that direction, since you said there's a gap
Huge gap.
between the clergy and the laity, there's a gap between the pulpit and the congregation.
A huge gap.
Now, what do you think that the church, in a broad sense, what do you think that the church can do in order to bridge that gap between the pulpit and the congregation, so that we can have a true Christian representation in the marketplace?
Okay. As I said earlier, if God blesses you with a man that has a proper understanding of how to deal with people with different calling and assignment, if we have men of God that has the ability to, not everybody has that ability. Not everybody has been fully trained. There are some men of God, all they know how to do is to train pastors. You understand? But if you check the Bible very well, it says he gave gift unto men for the equipping of the saints, for the work of ministry. Who are those saints?
It's the people.
Those saints are the people of God. And those people of God, they have ministry. So if the fivefold does their ministry very, very well, you understand?
Yeah.
If every Christian is fully trained to understand their ministry, for example, I'm a businessman, and I consider business as a ministry.
Yes.
If I'm fully trained to hear God, to follow God, I'll be a good businessman, a good Christian businessman. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm trained to be a good Christian in my field of profession,
Yeah.
it will reflect in my field,
In your business.
in my business. So if there is a proper discipleship, we disciple people based on their calling, based on their graces, based on their assignments, get businessmen to understand the difference between a man in a full-time ministry.
A man in a part-time ministry.
Unless, because I don't believe anything like
part-time.
I'm a full-time ministry, but we need to use the terminology to differentiate. You understand? The gap is normally from the head. If we are properly trained, the reason why I'm like this is because of the people I listen to, because of the man I'm following.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
You will not see me as a businessman and he's pushing me. So the kind of training he gives us helps us to train others, helps us to be effective in where we are. So if there is a proper discipleship in this line, you get not only to train people to become pastors. Yes, you can be a very good businessman and also be a very good pastor. You can be a very good pastor and a very bad businessman. If people are properly trained in line with their destiny and their calling and their assignment, you see everybody will be effective.
All right.
Make money in a righteous way.
In a righteous way. In a righteous
In a
way.
righteous way.
Now, that means that making money in an unrighteous way is also possible and might even seem more attractive or easier.
Yes. The routes I took in my business actually, because the point God was just coming, giving me instructions. Don't do this, don't do this. Some of the things I was learning in the Bible, I was applying. And at a point, people say, you are mad. You understand?
Yeah.
The place I'm staying now, I've stayed there for almost 10 years. Some people came, they say, this place, people don't come here. But that is the place God instructed me to stay. I've stayed in one place for almost 10 years.
Oh.
And I don't have plans to leave, except God asked me to leave. You understand?
Okay.
So making money in an unrighteous way seemingly looks easy. But the truth is that it does not have foundation.
Mm.
It does not have true foundation.
True foundation.
True foundation. The reason why I'm saying this is that as a Christian, I believe that tomorrow I will stand before God to give account of my life. You understand?
Definitely.
And almost 75% of my life, I think 80% of my life is lived around business. Even at home, I still do business. Now we are doing business is mobile.
Yeah, definitely. With
So will I now go to hell because I'm a business?
no,
So if
doesn't
I'm
seem
if
fair.
I if I'm striving for heaven, you get, and I'm striving to please God, I must seek to please God in every area I find myself.
Sure.
So that is why sometimes it appears to making money in a righteous way is difficult, but it's possible. It's possible. But the people that get it in an alright, they get it easy. Somebody can just come and hit one deal and write big can, but there is no true foundation.
That means it does
Both
not
here,
last.
both here and there.
Okay. No true foundation without
There is no true foundation without righteousness.
righteousness. Okay. Now, but being a Christian, Bible lets us know that He's sending us out into the world like sheep among wolves. So, being a Christian in business, that means we call our father's religion. And to me, it appears to be a failing of the church. Whether we're talking about Pentecostals, we're talking about the Anglican Church, or the Catholic Church, across board, there's no particular church that is affected and the other one is not. Now, what would you say? Because sometimes I've had to talk to some people, they say, it's easy for you to preach, for me to repent. But when I don't have food to eat at home, what happens? You know, somebody actually told me, even after Christ preached, say he shared bread. So, is something wrong that does the church need to share more bread? Or do we just keep talking to people?
The people they visit, does the people share bread with them? They're actually the ones bringing. You understand?
Oh,
They're actually the ones bringing.
okay, they take bread to that place.
They're actually the ones
I don't
taking
know.
goats, taking
Goat.
Yeah, they take goats. That is why most of those guys they are visiting now, they are living large. Are they doing any business? Is it not the people bringing?
Stuff to them.
Yes, but the issue is that, well, we know that what is happening is partly is the church, but partly parents has a huge part to play. But we need to see things from the perspective of prophecy.
Okay.
We have to see things, judge things from the perspective of prophecy. Based on what prophecy captures, Bible says in the last days, many will be lovers of themselves. There are most of these people now, if you call them now and tell them what it takes to be a Christian, they will run away. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If you call some of them now, I've had, because I run a discipleship program in my shop. I run a discipleship program in my house.
Okay.
I've been into discipleship for many years. We witness, we take evangelism to different places. We run evangelism in my discipleship in my shop, and some of them have the privilege to give their life to Christ. But when you now present
The requirements.
the cost of
The cost of Christianity.
being a Christian, they run away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
The problem we are facing in the world now is captured in prophecy. That a season will come where men will be lovers of themselves. They can't even practice, with the way things is going now in the world, they can't practice the real Christianity. 75% of people cannot practice, they will reject it because it requires a lot of price.
To be paid.
You have to pay because of the level of darkness in the world now. A Christian pays a lot of price to even stay accurate for himself. Talk more of discipling
Somebody else.
other people. Even though we know that the fault is predominantly on the church and parents.
Talking about parents. but in the world. Many so-called parents, in my own books, are not qualified to be parents at all. See, being a parent doesn't mean that you can get your wife pregnant, your wife can give birth. That's just step one. Being a parent means being responsible for the outcome of your parenthood. And just like the same parallel draws with the church, being a church is not enough to say, I'm a pastor. It is, who are you pastoring? What are you producing as a pastor? What is the result of your discipleship? So it is a two-way thing, like you said. There's a church
Family.
and there's a family. So where do you think we can start to solve this problem? Do we need less churches
Do less churches.
and less parents? Or how do we tackle this problem?
Well, the truth is that we know that, yes, some part of the church is bad, but if we remove church,
To get worse.
there will be a lot of, it will get worse.
What will
A
diminish?
season will come in that person's life. What the Bible says will become. You understand? Even though that is not, people are no longer afraid now. Say, let me get this money, whatever it is. But based on what I'm seeing and what I've understood, I encourage every Christian to hold on to their Bible.
Okay.
Reason is that we are not just here to make money.
Right.
We are here to bear witness. What is the proof that I am a Christian? If somebody asks you now, what is the proof? What will you?
What do you have to show that you're a Christian?
The proof that I'm a Christian is that I live out the Christian values every day. And that is why we are now, it is very difficult to see Christians in the business, in the marketplace.
Because some will say, keep Bible aside.
No,
Let's do
it's
business.
not a Christian.
That means the person is a Christian.
Not a Christian.
Okay.
Whether he goes to church, whether his father is a pastor, whether he's a pastor, anybody that says keep Bible aside, not a Christian. If you say keep the concern of Nigeria aside, you're not a
Nigerian.
You're not a Nigerian.
Right. So